Now, this remastering of the Beatles catalog has been eagerly anticipated for years. The CD releases that were out on the market back in 1987 were criticized for poor sound, shoddy packaging. 22 years later, it is being done right. It took two sound engineering teams 4 years to remaster both the mono and stereo versions. And of course, Beatles fans know well that the band was big into numerology, so today's release, September 9th, 2009, or 090909, is very much on purpose. Jason Rockman is one of our pop culture columnists. You received an advance promo of these releases. This morning you went out. We see you bought the stuff off the shelves. Yes. You've been listening to them, and I'm hearing that in most cases these versions just jump out of the speakers, more texture, more punch, just a lot more there for people to listen to.
The music really, the remastering really does the songs justice. There's no tape hiss. All the nuances in the music that you wouldn't necessarily hear before, because the old versions were ADD. These are fully digital, and you really hear the songs the way they're supposed to be heard.
In some cases, you can actually hear some instrumentation that you couldn't hear in the original versions.
Oh, for sure. I was listening to this yesterday in my car stereo with a guy who produces records in Montreal, and he was just floored. He was floored. He just couldn't believe how different. And these are songs you've heard your whole life. So to hear them finally, where they're really, the way they're supposed to be heard, the way you would have heard them live in a club, that real feel, it's mind-blowing. From a
sociological perspective, looking at sort of the history of music, and the impact, the profound impact that the Beatles really had, you see that 39 years later, after they broke up, these releases have created such a huge buzz.
Well, I think it really, it's a true example of how the Beatles have impacted, these last few generations that have been listening to them, and how they really bridge the gap between people. They're such an important band, and the thing is, it's good songs, it's good music, and it transcends time. If you've got good songs, it doesn't matter what kind of gimmick you have, it's going to last. And the Beatles are proof of that. It's funny seeing the clips of them going crazy.
Well, what's interesting is that you were out there this morning, lots of eager fans waiting to get their copies. Some of the stores we tried to send cameramen to get shots were sold out. We managed to get these shots at HMV this morning. What was it like when you got yours?
It was, the box set itself was completely sold out, and the lineup at HMV was pretty long. All the box sets were pre-ordered, and you can buy the individual ones. The crates, which are showing there, were pretty cool, because you can buy these crates and you can put your CDs in them. It's very gimmicky. It's very well packaged. It's very well presented.
As opposed to the way they were released in '87,
which
was
horrible.
Just sort of cheap packaging and tape hiss.
I have them, and they're awful.
Now, even with these remastered CD versions, we know that CDs are a dying sort of format.
Yes.
Why is there still a resistance to putting these Beatles songs available on iTunes or other downloading sites?
Well, because the Beatles record label was called Apple, and Apple owns iTunes. So
really, that's the reason.
The Beatles initiated a lawsuit against Apple when they started up, and that's what started the friction. So that was one of the reasons why they've not done anything with iTunes, and there's even talk of them doing their own portal to get the music out digitally.
They want to get it. They want to use their own portal to get it out.
For sure.
Okay, and quickly, the other big news today is the Rock Band game.
Rock Band.
And now this is something that has got a lot of people very interested, very excited, because basically it lets you learn the music and sing like a Beatle, or try to anyway, but very interactive, and I've heard some great things about this game as well.
It's Rock Band, but taken to a whole other level. It's going to be, this is the kind of thing that you can sit down with your dad and play this together, and I think this is going to open up doors for so many people to have things together.
Sort of crossing the generation gap.
I mean,
right?
my dad wants me to pick it up tonight, and he wants to come over this weekend. We're going to play Rock Band. My dad and I don't hang out on Saturday nights. He's 61, but we're going to have a reason to hang out now, which is kind of cool.
That's great. Well, because we all do know the music, right? So as soon as you hear it, it's like you know the lyrics to Penny Lane and all these other songs.
For sure. Do you want me to sing it?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Maybe next time. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
Well, the Beatles sold over 1 billion records and CDs, and of course it goes on. They remain the group with the most #1 hits and the most #1 albums on the charts as well. And almost 40 years after they broke up, people are obviously still buying their music, still enjoying it. On Talkback Montreal today, we'd like to know, were the Beatles the best band ever?